Hey, what's going on, guys? It is your good friend Matt back again here today at the only place that we always can be. And as you know, that's Matt's Wrestling Collectibles right here on YouTube. Guys, today we're back again with a new figure pickups video. This is going to be episode 27, I believe. I could be wrong. Don't quote me. But I do believe it is episode 27 that we're on. And a very big episode that we have for you guys today. A lot of figures. I was going to break this up into two videos, but we're just going to go through it very quickly today. We're going to do some a little bit more in depth than others, so you might get a little bit more of a review on some, a little bit more of a feature on some than others, but some of these we might kind of just bang out and just kind of get through them and make this video a short, long video, if that makes any sense. But today, guys, I'm back in front of the camera again. We were behind the camera many of days here for these 1-minute figure reviews that I've been doing. And I'm so grateful and just appreciative to everybody that they've been so well received. And I just can't thank you guys enough for those and the amount of time that you guys have spent watching them, commenting on them, and so on and so forth. So I appreciate you guys so much for that. Today, we're going to jump into these figures. We're going to get right into it. We're going to start going through them, showing you what we've got here. It's been, like I said, almost a month, I think, since we've done a figure pickups video. So a month later, we've got a lot to show, and there might even be a couple of items that are left out of here. I can't always remember which ones I've already shown or haven't shown or what's come into the collection. Things get moved around, so we try to make sure that this is accurate as much as it can be anyway. But, yeah, guys, we're going to jump right into it. This episode number 27 of New Figure Pickups. We're going to start it right off with some AEW figures. First up, we've got AEW Series 2, and this is Dustin Rhodes, also known as Goldust in his WWE days. But Dustin Rhodes, the brother of Cody Rhodes, the son of the great and late American Dream, Dusty Rhodes. But very happy to get this and add this to the collection. Series 2, obviously, you know, quite some time ago now for AEW, as I believe they are on like Series 13 or 14 with the Unrivaled set. And I think even the Unmatched series, I think, is somewhere around there too. But really love this figure. Reason why I wanted to get this one specifically into the collection, we do have the Blood Brothers 2-pack, so this now matching that. So it's kind of like we have the Dustin Rhodes in the pre-match and the post-match of what he looked like after that was all said and done. But a great match at that. Might even have to go back and watch that later today. But a great figure. Very happy to add this Dustin Rhodes to the collection in AEW Unrivaled Series 2. Now we got to make a pile because we got so much stuff here. I'm going to try to keep this all out of the way. Sticking with AEW for one more figure, we've got the Target exclusive AEW Sammy Guevara Unrivaled Collection. This is just figure number 92, as it is an exclusive, so it is not in a set or a series, but this is still a part of the Unrivaled, you know, packaging and styling, but his own figure, a Target exclusive with the AEW TNT title around his waist there, around his shoulder, I should say. But a great figure. Very happy to add this to the collection for multiple reasons. One, we already do have the AEW Sammy Guevara, which is up there on the wall in his, Jericho attire when everybody was following Jericho, the Inner Circle, the Inmates, the Jericho Squad there. And so we already have that attire up there, so I was very happy to add this to the collection in his more, wrestling in-ring attire. So very, very cool. Happy to add this to it as well. Like I said, just being that I do not buy many AEW figures anymore. I feel like I was buying a lot of them, but it's, unless it's going to be somebody who I don't have or I really need them, I've kind of slowed down on the AEW figures a bit, or more so even waiting for them to be clearanced. Unfortunately, a lot of these figures have not seen great pricing in the market, or the secondary market for that matter. But AEW Target exclusive Sammy Guevara, and like I said, very happy to add that to the collection as well. Now we jump over to the WWF and the WWE stuff. We're going to start right off with what is a very, very cool piece. This comes from my wife. It was a Christmas present, so a big shout out to her and a big thank you to her for this. I do not collect Pops, but it was kind of funny. I've said this in a previous video. We had the Ric Flair WWE 2K19 exclusive Pop, which is up there on the bookcase up there, and my girl, hearing me say this about this, my wife hearing me talk about this and saying how, I wasn't really going to get the Pops unless they were like exclusives or something really cool. And obviously that being a 2K exclusive Pop, she said, well, let me get you an exclusive Pop. So we've got the Undertaker Amazon exclusive Pop here. Very, very cool. This is from his Boneyard match, or the Boneyard style of match that he had with AJ Styles, and it's very cool that we actually have coming up in this video another piece that goes right with this. But so, you know, very cool to add another Pop to the collection. Only my second Pop Funko in the collection as of right now, and like I said, not trying to get too deep into the rabbit hole of Pops. There's just so many of them, and I'm happy to have it, but I don't want to get too crazy with them. So very happy to add this to the collection. A big shout out to my wife. A great piece, and look forward to slowly adding some Pops as time goes on. So, but for the Undertaker and this exclusive Amazon Pop, you know, like I said, very excited to add that to the collection and keep these Pops gradually being added to the collection. So up next, this piece is awesome. Love this. Couldn't, you know, just was so happy when it was announced. Waited some time for, you know, for it to kind of go through and see how it was going to get reacted to once it was finally out on the market. Very happy that I did so. I actually paid less money for this than it was originally scheduled to be released for. So that is what's awesome in the long game of collecting. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. But we have none other than the Survivor Series. This is the 1990 Survivor Series jaw-dropping debuts of none other than The Undertaker and our man, the Gobbledygooker. I mean, could you imagine ever saying that? The Gobbledygooker has an Ultimate Edition figure. This is crazy, right? I mean, absolutely nuts to even think that this would be a thing. But an amazing box. I love this yellow. I love the brightness of it. When I was a kid, yellow and orange were like my favorite colors. I had yellow jackets, yellow shirts, orange shirts. I had the swishy pants that every time you walk, you know, you get the you know that. So had those in all kinds of colors, yellow, orange, blue. I mean, I was just all about the colors when I was a kid. And now, if it's not black, gray, white, or red, I'm probably not wearing it. Even like today, we got a little purple on, but you know, to go with that gray. But so for the Undertaker and Mr. Double G, the Gobbledygooker there, this is the Ultimate Edition from Survivor Series. Like I said, this is their debuts, Survivor Series 1990. We're actually going to put this off to the side here for a second so you can actually see the figures. First up, we're going to show you none other than the Undertaker. Very excited to add this to the collection. Like I said, a great figure. Happy that it's, you know, it's right to the styling of that night of Survivor Series 1990, making his debut. It's a very similar figure to the figure that we did get in the Raw 3-pack with Razor Ramon and 123 Kid, which also 123 Kid had his Lightning Kid gear on, which is very cool. But very similar to that figure. Head scan on the Raw 3-pack is very cool. It's got the over, you know, hanging hair in the face. Very, very cool figure. Do enjoy adding this one to the, you know, to the collection and to the set. A little bit of a similar figure, but keeping it because it does go with the box set. And obviously, we're not going to get rid of this. We're not going to get rid of the Raw 3-pack. But for the Undertaker, we've got to hop into this because this is it's just so cool. We've got two separate head scans from Mr. Double G here. I mean, he has got just, I don't know how to say this when we hit these deep cuts, these one-of-ones, these figures that we're probably never going to get again. And not only do we get this in an Ultimate Edition, it's an exclusive. It's a 2-pack. It makes a lot of sense. You know, it was very cool to receive this figure. And to some people's, you know, disapproval, they probably wanted something else. We could have done something else. But I think this is great. And for a collector, for myself, for people who, you know, really loved this time of the new gen era, kind of, you know, slowly making its way to that Attitude Era, switching over, you know, going from this, starting to become the battles that we saw with Undertaker, Stone Cold, Undertaker, Shawn Michaels. You know, it's just a great piece. I'm very happy to have this. And just the fact that we get two head scans and two different, you know, looks is so cool. I mean, all the way down to the feet and everything. I mean, there's just so much detail in this, and I'm just so grateful to add it to the collection. It is a one-of-one to me anyway. You know, I don't think we're going to see this again, but for Mr. Double G, the Gobbledygooker, he is being added to the never-ending ads of the Ultimate Editions. But with that, we do have one more piece that goes with this. Very, very cool. The Survivor Series egg. And how cool is this to get this added into this box set? You know, very cool piece. Definitely different. Again, you know, something that's a very one-of-one. We're not going to probably see this ever again. There'd be no reason to reuse this mold, but you never know. As we always say, get the most of your molds. And, this is potentially, who knows, maybe something will come from it down the way. Maybe we'll receive something else. But this is very, very cool. A very unique piece, and very happy to add this to the collection. So for the Gobbledygooker, the Egg, and the Undertaker, and for Survivor Series 1990, it's another set going into the Ultimate Edition collection. Up next, we have probably, I would say, what is going to be one of my favorite pieces in this video. Obviously, we just said with that Survivor Series definitely being up there. This is probably a close tie for second. But we have none other than the Hulk Hogan Elite Target exclusive 3-pack. And guys, what a set this is. I love this. This is like just giving you everything you need all in one. Obviously, I have other NWO Hulk Hogans. I have plenty of red and yellow Hulk Hogans. I think we all do at this point. But a very, very cool piece. Very unique. Happy that they gave us a little something different. It's all but the same, but different, if that makes sense. And when I say that, I mean that, we go to this Hulk Hogan right here. It's very much so similar to his, his defining moments Hogan. A little bit different in some ways. Obviously, the attires, the boots, there are some differences, but very similar in what that was, which is actually funny because it led me to sell my Defining Moments Hogan, not just because of this pack, but because of how many other Hogans I have and how many are so similar. So we're trying to keep room in this collection as we go. And as I've said to you guys many of times before, not to sound like a broken record, but at one point, I had 4,000 plus wrestling figures. It's a lot to keep up with. It's a lot of room to work with, to keep, trying to put things away and keeping them as orderly as possible. So when I get a chance to sell a figure that is extremely similar, I do look to do that. And even in ways of just selling pieces, as you guys also know, I'm not going to get too far into this, but just as you guys know, I use this for a quick example. Chainsaw Charlie came out of Elite 97. We also just got the new Terry Funk in the Greatest Hits of the Legends series. The Terry Funk that we got from the Legends series, the head scan that he has on, is the same secondary head scan that we got with the Chainsaw Charlie. So I opened the Chainsaw Charlie to add a piece of actual nylon over his head, that nylon masking. So I did that to make it more realistic. We took the Terry Funk head out of there and we put that up for sale on the MERCARI. I know a lot of you make customs. I know a lot of you guys like the fodders and fodder lots and stuff like that. So I'm always looking to try to downsize in any way that I can. So with this, we had the other Hogan that's very similar to it, but the pants are different, the boots are different, there are differences. So, little things I sell off and other things I keep. But this set, guys, absolutely amazing. We've got Hogan all the way from the, back in the days of when, he's slamming Andre the Giant at WrestleMania 3 to his later years in WCW, probably around the late 90s here, going into the early 2000s. We've got Hulk Hogan looking as only he can. Hollywood Hogan was running wild and running such a menace on the world of wrestling at the time. But you had to love him. You had to hate him. You couldn't do both, or you couldn't do one or the other, I should say. You had to do both because it was still Hulk Hogan. All the way back to when he finally said, hey, the Hulkamaniacs are back in my heart, they're back in my head. And this is when Hulk found out that he still ruled, and he had to show the world that he did just that. So, an amazing timeline of Hulk Hogan, and it's just a great 3-pack. If you haven't gotten this, I recommend going out and buying it. It is very, very cool, worth the money. And right now on Target online, you can get this, I believe, for $56. I mean, how can you go wrong? $56. Cheaper than it would be to buy 3 Elites. When it first came out, it was like $80. And here's me talking about the long game and some things. I didn't wait on this. I bought it right away. I kind of wish I did wait, because to save $30 would have been nice, but hey, it's no big deal, right? You got to do what you got to do. So the Hulk Hogan Elite Target 3-pack, very, very cool piece. Happy to add that to the collection. And up next, we're going to show you a little kind of customization. As I've said to you guys before, I do open things from time to time. So we've already shown you this figure before. I'm not going to get into it too much. Just want to show this off, and then we'll get right on to the next one. We've got the Elite Survivor Series Ultimate Warrior. This is the Build-A-Figure set that you could build Rick Rude. It also included Becky Lynch, AJ Styles, and Drew McIntyre. This figure, I know, does not go with this jacket, but I had this figure available to me because I had already opened it for the Build-A-Figure parts. I had recently purchased the, I don't know what it's called, the WWF Superstars Ultimate Warrior with that purple coat. And I just wanted to put that purple jacket on this Warrior so bad. I might even have to open it later and actually fix the collar on it a little bit. I didn't realize how wrong it was. It's a little scrunched up there, but these fit perfectly. The jacket is absolutely amazing. The design on the back is so cool, and I had to add this to this Warrior. He's got a little bit of purple in his attire. He's got a little bit of the dark with the silver and that black in the face paint, and it's very, very nice. So I liked adding this to it. I think it makes the figure look very, very cool. On the back of the packaging, he is wearing the white strap WWE Winged Eagle Championship or WWF Championship. That title I do have with the No Holds Barred exclusive San Diego Comic-Con, Hulk Hogan and Zeus, but very, very cool piece, and it should have been added to this figure in my opinion. But when you get to build a figure, guys, they kind of make the figures, in my opinion, very bare bones. But it was, excuse me, guys. We've been talking for too long here. Might have to get myself a drink. But with this figure here, guys, you know, it's very nice to add on the cufflinks from it as well as the jacket. Very, very cool figure. Happy to kind of mix and match that into the collection. I think it looks very, very cool. And it fits the Warrior as only it can. You know, I think a lot of these figures sometimes are just missing that little extra piece that puts them over the top. For me, that would be it with that, as well as maybe getting that belt in there. But sticking with the Warrior, I don't want to jump back between Elites and whatnot, but sticking with Ultimate Warrior, we've got WWE Masters of the Universe Ultimate Warrior. I just got this the other day with a buyout. As you guys can see behind me here, I've got too much stuff right now. Way, way too much stuff in this room. And it's just, there's a lot here to go over. We've bought multiple collections, and the Matt's Wrestling Collectibles brand, as you know, it's getting back to what it once was. We're building it. We're getting there, and very excited to get there. So we're building it, and we're putting a lot of items on the MERCARI store. If you haven't already, check out the MERCARI. That's MWC, as in Matt's Wrestling Collectibles 2008. So again, MWC 2008. Check me out on MERCARI. A lot of items for sale. A lot of good stuff up there I'm sure you guys will be interested in. But this Ultimate Warrior from the Masters of the Universe set, only the second Masters of the Universe figure that I have kept. The other one is The Rock. And I love this. I think this is awesome. I kept this for two reasons. One, I really do love Ultimate Warrior. And number two, the face paint, the outfits. I love having guys that are very, you know, toyetic. They're very figure-based. They're very cartoonish. They can be collected multiple times over. The John Cenas, the Rey Mysterios, the Hulk Hogans, the Ultimate Warriors, the Macho Mans, and I could go on. But the Ultimate Warrior that we've got here with the red and white, so cool, so happy to get this and add this to the collection. Very, very very different. And so excited to add him and continue to build the Masters of the Universe line. Not sure how far in, we'll get into that, but again, kind of like the Pop Funko stuff, not really going too crazy, so just trying to kind of keep it little bits here and there. We space it out, you know. Up next, a very cool piece, an old piece, a retro piece, a new gen style WWF piece. We've got none other than the Undertaker, and this is from the Heroes of Wrestling collection. I'm not sure how long this went or if it even continued after this, because on the back of the packaging here, it does say collect them all. It shows him and Psycho Sid, as well as a cutout that you could save as like an Undertaker trading card. It's very, very cool. The only thing I think it's missing would be potentially the Winged Eagle title. It would have been really cool if they made like a special sized Winged Eagle title for this. I think it would have made the figure much cooler, you know, having that draped down in the package. But very, very cool figure. You look at the back there, like I said, you know, it does show Psycho Sid. It does show the you know, kind of a little bit of a cross sell with him. Not too much there, unfortunately, just because it's not a big series, but got a little bit of a blurb back here, some stuff from Jack Specific, and we also got like I said, that little cutout card that you could get back there. So very, very cool. A nice piece. I was happy to add that. You know, I always like to add some retro stuff from all the years that I collected before. It's crazy because when I see stuff like this, I'm like, I had it all. I had things like this before. I had so much of it growing up. So it's hard to not, you know, keep it at times. But when these large collections come in, I always kind of pace myself with what I can do. The last one that we bought, it was, I believe it was 200 loose wrestlers and I think 45 wrestlers in box. I kept 8 pieces out of the whole entire thing. And with this last one we just did, we got 125 loose wrestlers and 34 in box. And I only kept 6 items. So I try to, you know, always draw that line between my collection and the business. And that's what you have to do when you also collect what you sell. At least that's my opinion anyway. Up next, we've got a piece that finally completed. There we go. We're going to get it. Third time's a charm. We've got a piece that finally completed a collection here, and that is the Bobby Lashley coming out of Series 89 Elite. He is missing the title, as you can see. That's already up on the MERCARI, but we do have him here in his Hurt Business attire, and that is the reason why we needed this Bobby Lashley. We now have him. We've got the MVP. We've got the Cedric Alexander, and we've got the Shelton Benjamin. You could even throw in Omos if you want to count that, MVP was managing him. We have got all of the Hurt Business finally added to the collection, and all of which are in Elites, except for, obviously, the basics that we had to get. So that's my goal, is always to try to get as much of it in the Elites as I can. So if it's basic and you got to get it, you got to get it. But with these new basics, too, they're starting to look a lot better. So who knows? Maybe they'll be a bit more desirable as time goes on. Up next, we've got Elite 86 SummerSlam Seth Rollins. A very, very cool piece. I love Seth Rollins. I think he's a great wrestler. One of my favorites of the newer generation of guys that kind of came up in that era of around the Nexus, the Shield, that 2010-12 area to maybe 2014 or 15. But this Seth Rollins, very, very cool. Love the attire, going after Rey Mysterio, going after Dominic Mysterio, and just Seth Rollins being the great heel that he is. He's the heel that you love to hate and you hate to love because he's just so good at it. And whether he's a babyface or a heel, I always like him, always love his work, and very happy to add this one to the collection. Up next, we've got one that I just wanted for the figure itself. As you guys can see, this box is very, very damaged. We got this Kevin Owens Elite WrestleMania 30 figure. Like I said, this was just something I really wanted strictly for the attire. The KO Mania 2 shirt that's on him. As you can see, somebody ripped this apart to take the belt out of it, but for what we paid for it, I can't be too upset. So, very happy to add this to the collection. And, just like I said, guys, not going to stay on all these all too long, but Kevin Owens for the attire, WrestleMania 30, boxes beat to crap, but we're very happy to add that to the collection just for the figure itself. Let's see here. Up next, we've got Undertaker coming out of Elite Series 85 and going back to that Pop Funko that my wife got me. This is very, very cool as well. Very happy to add this to the collection. His Boneyard attire, his Boneyard match that he had with AJ Styles at WrestleMania 36. We do have the AJ Styles already, so it's very nice to have them together up on the wall. Very, very cool figure. Like I said, I love the Undertaker. I love collecting things that are Undertaker. So happy to add this to the collection, and I'm sure definitely not the last Undertaker that we will add to the Elite Series collection, but very, very cool. Like I said, it's got his Boneyard match attire, and that's what I like too, is collecting figures that are set from a certain day, an attire, a match. So very cool. Very happy to add the Undertaker Elite 86 to the collection. Up next, we've got Randy Orton coming out of the Wrecking series, and I'll just make this one quick, guys. I kept this. I do like the attire that's on the Orton, the red and black. Very, very nice. The head scan is actually very nice. If you guys can get a close-up look of that, hopefully you guys can all see that there. But a very, very cool head scan. I haven't seen that on any of the other figures that I know of yet, so maybe that's something that they only did on this figure. I'm not sure. Maybe it was on a basic. Maybe it was on an Elite too. I'll have to double check some of my other figures, see if any of them have that same head scan, but not really sure. But I do like that, and I did keep it because of the dummy punching bag. I thought that was just so cool, and I'm all about accessories. I'm all about getting things that we haven't gotten before. Obviously, I know this is old. This is not new by any means, but very, very cool. Excited to add it, for the accessory, the head scan, just little dumb things. I'm a very big fan of Orton anyway, so it was cool to add this to the collection from, like I said, the Wrecking series. So it's the only one that I've got there. I remember when we were collecting Flex Force figures at one time, and even those, it's like, whatever happened to that stuff? I don't even think about it anymore. Where, what did we do with them all? How did we even go about collecting them, or what was so cool about it then? Who knows, right? So much stuff to collect, so much stuff to stay on top of. But up next, we've got Sami Zayn coming out of Elite Series 51. The box is beat up again, a little bit, but for what we paid, I was happy to add this to the collection. A very, rookie days of Sami Zayn in WWE, NXT. So very happy to add this to the collection. Very cool attire. Comes with his top hat, his t-shirt as always, with his crazy Sami Zayn dance going on there with his plaid and checkered pants and attire there. So very cool to add this. As in front of me, I look at the Sami Zayn that's from his match with Johnny Knoxville. So I'm very happy to add different eras, different styles or timeline frames of guys to the collection, Sami Zayn being one of them. So very happy to add Sami Zayn Elite Series 51 to the collection. Up next, our last Elite figure. I saved this for last because I was really very excited to get this, and probably one of my greatest pickups out of the set of stuff that we just purchased. But Elite Series 50 Shane McMahon, a very, very cool figure. Happy to get this. It's a modern style Shane, an older style Shane. So now we still have to get Shane in the younger style version of himself, and I'd also like to get him in the the X-Punk that they did in the Elite Series, or the Basic Series, I should say, of him. So looking to add that, but a very cool Shane McMahon here. And, this figure, like I said, it's just one of those things where it's nice to get an older, more modern Shane McMahon. It comes with an announcer's table, which is very, very cool. And it also comes with a diaphragm, or however you want to say it, a diorama. Not a diaphragm. Jeez, we're not in the hospital just yet. A diorama of this backstage set, which is cool when they were doing that with some of these series through the late 40s through the 50s with the Elite. So very cool to add that to the series and to the collection. But yeah, like I said, getting a modern day Shane McMahon is just cool in and of itself. So happy to add him to the collection. And now let's wrap it up with the final figure in this video. We've got none other than the Big Show as the Giant, WCW NWO. It's the double axe handle smash. And what exactly was the name of this series? What series is this? What are they calling this? They don't got anything on the front. So does WCW being WCW, right? But very, very cool. A cool figure. I like getting old stuff when it's still packaged. I got two of these. The Lex Luger is up on the MERCARI, but I kept this one for myself. And I'm very happy to just add it to the collection. Nothing really crazy to talk about. It's an old figure. It's vintage. It's cool. And just happy to add it to the set, to the collection, and to be able to display it and show it off here in this video. So, the Big Show, the Giant, WCW NWO, that's going to wrap it up for us here today, guys. We've had quite a video here. I'm hoping that we got through it, with reasonable time. I guess we'll know once we turn the camera back around. But, guys, I appreciate everything. Keep checking for those 1-minute figure reviews. I'm going to keep putting those out, trying to make them as, as accessible and as, put up daily for you guys as possible. Sometimes it's a little tough. I've got just so much stuff going on, as all of you do as well. So I never, I never expect everybody to just jump right on it and to be on top of everything that I post. But if you are somebody who would like to do that, make sure you subscribe to the channel. Make sure you go over to the bell icon, turn that on to, the most, obnoxious setting that you can find, and follow me every day, everywhere, every place that I go, right? Yeah, don't do that. I don't want to be looking over my shoulder. But I appreciate everything, guys. My voice is getting ready to go in this video. I've just had so much going on over the past few days. So before it completely drops out on me, I just want to say thank you to everybody who watched this video. As always, thank you to everybody who subscribes and continues to check in with me and my content. I will be posting as much as I can for you guys every day, every other day, really trying to get you guys some content out there. And again, guys, I appreciate all the support and the continued support. So if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button. Follow me on here. Follow me on Facebook. Check me out on MERCARI. Check out all the subscribers. Check out all of my sponsors that I also keep on Facebook, and I have promoted them everywhere else. You can find them all over the place. We've got the FTW podcast. My man Zay is out there, and you already know that is the man coming out of Diamond Land. And as well as DJ TV, my buddy Dean over there. He's a great, great guy. If you haven't checked him out, check him out as well. And, as always, guys, I appreciate it. Thank you for watching this video. Stay tuned for the next one. I will see you there. Be safe. Enjoy your week. And again, guys, thank you for all the support. We'll catch you in the next video.